Okay. Birthday week. Disney week.
Shelves are all empty.
The shelves are empty because all the Disney games are in front of us. Just FYI. Hello everyone and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
Board games.
and
Disney.
Exactly. It is Disney week round 2, my friends. I didn't even mention our last video released on my birthday. You didn't even say happy birthday to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways, we are doing a full week of Disney-themed games, etc. And for today's video, we are doing another versus video to help figure out which Disney game is best. We haven't done one of these videos in a while.
No, we haven't.
But basically how this works is we have put all of the Disney games that we have played into Pub Meeple, which is a ranking engine system that we have used before. And then it's going to spit out 2 games, and Jeff and I are going to have to discuss and agree on which game is going to move on to the next round.
I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to agree on a lot of these.
I think we probably will, but ultimately this is all about ranking the best Disney games, or ranking the Disney games we've played from top to bottom.
I wonder what number 1's going to be.
I wonder what number 1's going to be. It's really quite hard to say. Without further ado, we're going to dive into it, and we will give you just a very brief little snippet on each game the first time it comes up, and then we're just going to kind of whip through these as fast as we can. Watch me whip. Watch me Disney. I have my Disney shirt on. It says more Disney, more dogs. Life motto. The first matchup that we have that's popping up here is going to be Disney Villainous versus Shadowed Kingdom. Disney Villainous, as many of you know, is my favorite game of all time. So I'm just throwing that out there. This is a game where you are pitting 2 to 4 Disney villains against each other. You are trying to achieve your objective, your goal, while the other person or players are trying to fate you and to achieve their goals, but stopping you from achieving yours. In a nutshell, that is Disney Villainous. We are just going to be talking about the original, but just know that they're all kind of clumped together. We do own the entire set.
In Shadow Kingdom, you are trying to get to the end of a magic track before getting to the end of a shadow track, essentially. And you're doing that by having cards in your hand. There's a grid in front of each player that's collective, depending on how you manipulate a card. So you'd play one down, which would shift a card toward the player next to you or across from you, and then they would reveal that card and do the action. You can also dispel cards, which is attacking the grid from the side and moving a card from the side in order to discard that card. Some cards are good, some cards are bad, and that's basically the game.
On the count of 3, we will reveal which one we believe is the best, and we will lock that in. So 1, 2, 3, Villainous. There is absolutely no competition. This game is terrible.
This is not a good game.
I will be interested to see where that falls. So we have the Jungle Cruise versus Marvel Villainous, which we are keeping separate from regular Villainous because you can't play them together.
I consider them enough.
Yeah, I consider them separate games. The Jungle Cruise is a game themed off of the Jungle Cruise ride at Disney. It is a children's game where you are moving your boat through the Jungle Cruise, losing passengers, gaining, saving passengers, picking up cargo, doing a bunch of things. The first person to get to the end of the track with some other scoring objectives is going to win. This is a very adorable Disney game.
Marvel Villainous is basically normal Villainous, but instead you have a shared fate deck. Those cards can impact each player or both players. There's also a new mechanic called events, I believe, that will come out that, you know, again, one player will need to overcome before they can do certain things, or both will need to overcome. That's the main difference between Marvel Villainous and Villainous.
So, on the count of 3, Jeffrey will say which one of these is best. 1, 2, 3, Jungle Cruise. No competition. We do not.
Yeah. Did not like
Marvel Villainous. Next up, we have Disney Kingdom Hearts Perilous Pursuit, a cooperative chase to defeat the Heartless, versus Munchkin Disney, which we do not own.
No. Disney Kingdom Hearts Perilous Pursuit, you are trying to overcome Heartless in 6 consecutive worlds. Ultimately, you're just chucking dice in order to ready and prepare attacks against the Heartless, and then you're going to roll dice and take the actions that are on the dice. Depending on the player that you have in front of you will do different things. Donald, for example, might attack better than Goofy.
This is up against Munchkin Disney. So, as I'm sure you would expect, this is a Disney version of the classic game Munchkin.
Mm-hmm.
Within this, you are kind of like doing the same thing that you would be doing in Munchkin, which is like kind of dungeon crawling a little bit. It's going to be asking you to do different things that are Disney related, like name a Disney song or sing a song or what character is this, like all of these little things within it to help you to win. And then you're going to be getting items and upgrading them and doing all the Munchkin things. We only played it once, but
it's Munchkin.
It's Munchkin with a Disney theme. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1,
Munchkin,
Disney
Disney.
Munchkin. Wow. Oh, I wasn't expecting that from you. Yeah, I just think this game is just, it's the best version of Munchkin that I've played.
Munchkin's Munchkin. If you played it, you've played it. I just feel like this is a kid's game. It's very good for children.
Mm-hmm.
Very simplistic. It's completely random.
But it is fun.
It was, yep, it's close.
Next up, we have Disney's Hocus Pocus versus Disney Gargoyle Awakening. Hocus Pocus is a Disney game, a cooperative game based on the classic Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus. Within this, you are working together against the 3 Sanderson sisters. It's set collection. You're trying to collect different ingredients and things before the sisters do. This is way more difficult.
It's super hard.
Than I expected it to be. A lot of fun, also.
Mm-hmm. In Disney's In Disney Gargoyles Awakening, it's a skirmish game. There's set scenarios you can play, and basically all the scenarios play similarly. It's basically defeat the villains. There's certain objectives you need to do, but ultimately what you're trying to do is defeat the villains. You can play as all of the Gargoyles characters. There's 4 different episodes you can play. What's really cool is it has like 3D terrain that you build out, so you're basically building out a city, and there's towers and stuff that you can glide off of with your characters and that sort of thing. But fundamentally, I would say this is an intro skirmish game.
Okay, which is best though, Jeffrey? That's the question. 3, 2, 1, Hocus Pocus. Oh, we are so on the same Disney train right now. We are on the people mover. So we have Disney Villainous again against Mickey and Friends, Food Fight, an all-out dash to toss those snacks. Basically, this game is like a speed dexterity game where you have a tray of snacks, Disney snacks, theme park snacks, and then all of your opponents also have a tray of snacks. You are rolling dice. The dice is going to tell you how many of the snacks and what kind of snack you need to throw and which direction you're throwing it in. You are having a food fight. You are literally picking up the food and throwing it at the other people's trays, and the goal is to have the empty tray. And
you can't just throw it at people either.
It has to go onto their tray. And so basically you are just doing that until you have nothing left, and you do that 3 times, and whoever does that wins.
It is chaos.
It is chaos. We are going to be deciding in 3, 2, 1, Villainous. It's just, Food Fight versus Shadowed Kingdoms. 3, 2, 1, Food Fight. I'm going to be really interested to see if we have any disagreements at all. We have Jungle Cruise versus Parade. Parade is an Alice in Wonderland themed card game that I will probably never fully understand. Basically, you are putting out different cards on a line, and the cards are going to have different numbers and they're going to have different colors. Things are going to get triggered based on when you do that. So you'll put a card down, and we don't remember exactly. We only got to play it, well, actually we played it like 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. Still didn't understand it.
So long ago.
I
understood it.
Well, I didn't because of the math. But basically, if you have let's say it's a black card that is higher than the rest of the cards that are there, you take either all of the same color or all of the other colors or all of the lower numbers or something. Mm-hmm. This is a great explanation, but that's basically how it goes. It is a lot of fun.
It is a very good game.
Very, very good game that we definitely want to buy. On the count of 3, Jeffrey. 1, 2, 3, Parade. What if we don't have any disagreements?
Might not.
Next up, we have It's a Small World versus Disney Munchkin. And It's a Small World, this is a game where you are riding along in the boats from It's a Small World, the ride. This is a game for children. So you're literally just matching the cards in your hands to the walls. And that's basically it. You're just like running down the clock until you hit 6 rounds, and then whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins.
Most matches. Super
exactly.
kids game.
On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1,
Munchkin
Small World.
Disney.
Oh. Really?
This is for super young kids.
It's so pretty.
I'm not basing it on the merits of the box. I'm basing it on the merits of the game.
I will concede and I will agree that Munchkin Disney is a better game, but this one we own and Munchkin Disney we don't. Next up, we have It's a Small World versus Disney's Kingdom Hearts Perilous Pursuit. 3, 2, 1, Perilous Pursuit. Yeah, so we agreed. Okay, perfect. Next up, we have Disney Sidekicks versus Hocus Pocus. Jeffrey, maybe you explain Sidekicks.
Sidekicks is a cooperative game where you're playing as Disney sidekicks, just like the game is called, and your hero is locked into a tower in the center of the board, and you are going to be going around the board trying to collect stars, which allow you to unlock abilities, unlock the tower to rescue your hero. There's villains that you need to defeat. You can play as, for example, Abu, and you're trying to save Aladdin, and Jafar is on the board trying to hinder your progress. Think Horrified with a Disney theme and just a little bit more going on.
So, Disney Sidekicks versus Hocus Pocus in 3, 2, 1, Hocus Pocus. Yeah. This game had so much potential. Next up, we have Disney Sidekicks versus Gargoyles. 3, 2, 1, Gargoyles. Okay. Next pairing is going to be Villainous versus Parade. And we're going to say 3, 2, 1, Villainous, of course. This is obviously going to be the top game. Next up, we have Parade versus Mickey and Friends Food Fight. 3, 2, 1,
Parade.
Food Fight.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yeah.
In what world, if you're having game day,
Yeah.
would you say Mickey's Food Fight over Parade?
In many worlds, because literally this is just like, this like breaks up your
It's
day.
a filler. This is a filler game.
But it's so fun. You're literally, you're flinging like Mickey ice cream bars at people.
You had more fun playing this than Parade?
I didn't understand how to do math in Parade.
So that's, okay. So are you basing this off the fact that you just didn't understand Parade?
Yes.
I really don't want to concede this one because Parade.
I will concede then because Parade is a very good game, and given more time for me to understand the math, I think I might like it more.
I think you would too.
But this one is just a lot of fun also.
I'll concede one in the future to you.
So Food Fight versus Jungle Cruise. 3, 2, 1, Food Fight. Jungle Cruise is great, but Food Fight is more fun. It just is what it is.
Jungle Cruise is a kid's game.
No-brainer. Jungle Cruise versus Shadowed Kingdom. 1, 2, 3, Jungle Cruise. We're going to have Shadowed Kingdom versus Marvel Villainous, which we also had a terrible time playing. Which is better? 3, 2, 1, Villainous, definitely.
Marvel Villainous.
Marvel Villainous. Yeah, we got to give it another shot.
Agreed.
Now we have Hocus Pocus versus Munchkin Disney. I already know what Jeff's going to say. 3, 2, 1, Hocus Pocus. This game is so fun.
It is very good.
Gargoyles, or as Jeff says, Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Versus Munchkin Disney. 3, 2, 1,
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles. Lock it in. Sidekicks versus Munchkin Disney. 3, 2, 1, Sidekicks. Okay, I wasn't really sure where you were going to go with that one. But
I mean, it's Munchkin.
Do we even need to do a countdown? It's Villainous, right? Yeah, it's Villainous. Next pairing we have is Hocus Pocus versus Parade. 3, 2, 1, Hocus Pocus. I think I wanted to say Parade. It's just I'm so unsure of it.
Fair. We played Parade very late at night.
Yeah.
1, 2 a.m. I really liked Parade.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say Parade. It's one that like...
This is very close for me.
It's very close, but...
Which is shocking. I never thought this would be the game.
I think that it's also because Parade's competitive and this is cooperative, so we just generally lean more towards
that's fair.
that. Parade, lock it in. Hocus Pocus versus Food Fight is 3, 2, 1, Hocus Pocus. Food Fight versus Gargoyles. 3, 2, 1, Food Fight. Gargoyles.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just conceding.
Why?
Because I think you're right. Disney Sidekicks versus Food Fight. 3, 2, 1, Food Fight. Okay.
And I'm going to say why. I knew you were going to pick this.
Yeah.
The difference, the where we struggle with these is that you definitely prefer those dexterous party games to me. This isn't the shtick for me.
Jeff's not great at them.
I'm not great at them. I don't have a ton of fun playing them, depending on the game and the group. But this, even though it had issues, and when we say issues, the issues with Sidekicks is it's very clunky for what it should be.
Yeah.
It should be simplistic and easy, but they made the rule set a bit too weird, and the actions are just a bit clunky. It just feels a bit awkward. But this is the type of game, which is interesting because it's cooperative, that I would gravitate over this any day of the week. I just feel like this... It's hard to compare them too because this is like...
They're so different.
This isn't the game that you're coming to play. This is like, what's the palate cleanser? Which is fair. These games are never going to be the thing I pick.
It's interesting you say palate cleanser because it's food.
There you go. That's what I meant to. But I owe you a concession. So
yes. Would
you like me to concede?
Yes.
All right.
Food fight wins.
I don't know why they're always like this. And also, I will say, I really like the artwork of this game. Like,
yeah, it's like the new style, old school, if that makes sense. Next up, we have Disney Sidekicks versus Jungle Cruise. 3, 2, 1, Jungle Cruise.
Again, these games are actually kind of... No. Well, they are, though. You're basically manipulating your little dude. Like, this one's way more straightforward than Sidekicks.
Yeah.
But the actions are pretty much similar. You're moving, doing something. You're taking an action, then you're moving again, which is what's happening in Sidekicks. The difference for this, for me, is this is meant for kids. This is a game you're going to pull out with an 8 to 10-year-old because it's very... It's very A to B. It's very simplistic, pick up and deliver.
This is also for 8+. I don't know how many
Sidekicks takes a little bit more strategy. If Sidekicks didn't have the clunkiness, this would be one of the top games of this list. I think maybe you're paying too much attention to the clunkiness of it.
Maybe.
Versus what the actual game is like.
I also just prefer this theme.
Right, and that's fair.
But... if you're thinking about game...
This game is... There's not a lot of game here.
Yeah, okay.
Because I even remember when we played this, and the cards were really funny, because the cards have, like, the jokes.
Thematic.
The jokes from Jungle Cruise are really, like, bad jokes.
Yeah.
But there's not enough of them. Because I remember we were filtering through so many cards that it was like, oh, we've already seen this joke. And oh, we've already seen this joke. And, like, there's more game here.
I will concede, and I will also say Disney Sidekicks. Listen, I'm conceding a lot. We need that back. Okay, next up we have Jungle Cruise versus Munchkin Disney. 3, 2, 1, Jungle Cruise. You knew I was going to say that, right?
Again, like...
It's Munchkin.
Yeah. I just want to caveat quick. I don't mean to crap on Munchkin. We've had a ton of fun playing Munchkin.
Yes.
Munchkin Quest was one of the first games we got into the hobby with. It's just once you've played Munchkin enough, you've played Munchkin. You don't need to continue to play Munchkin. We were into the hobby when we played Munchkin Disney, and it's just like, yeah, it's Munchkin.
Yeah.
So,
but it was way funner because it was Disney. Next, we have Munchkin Disney versus Marvel Villainous. 3, 2, 1, Munchkin Disney. What was that?
Villainous.
Oh.
I think
if we had played it without the event card.
So we only played Marvel Villain. Give you a little bit of synopsis here.
Here's some insight.
We played Marvel Villainous one time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And we played it at 2-player. So we play all of our Villainous games at 2-player. Yeah. Primarily. Marvel Villainous 2-player, we got so overwhelmed with event cards that we couldn't even take actions. Like we had like each like 1 or 2 actions we could do. Yeah. And we ended up just stopping. And so I've gotten advice since then to be like, well, just, remove the event cards or remove this thing, move that thing. I struggle with that a little bit because, I mean, the game is meant to be played a certain way. Yeah. But I do think that we would enjoy Marvel Villainous with the Loki expansion, which I think does improve the game. And if we just tried it again. Yeah,
I picked Marvel Villainous. Yeah. Munchkin Disney versus Shadowed Kingdoms. It's just Munchkin Disney. Shadowed Kingdoms versus...
Perilous Pursuit.
3, 2, 1, Perilous Pursuit. Shadowed Kingdom versus It's a Small World. 3, 2, 1, It's a Small World. After all, my friends. Oh, okay, and that's it. So
you didn't have Haunted Mansion in. Jamie did not put Haunted Mansion into Pub Meeple, so it did not get ranked. However, I think we would both agree it's probably going to land at 4. Yeah. And push everything down.
I think so. And this is our ranked list of Disney games. Coming in at number 13, we have Shadowed Kingdoms.
Not great. Not a great game.
Don't recommend.
Don't recommend.
Number 12, we have, Disney's It's What?
This makes sense to me. It is a very young kid game. Again, you're getting caught up in the theme and the art and all of the things. It is literally for tiny children.
I guess.
You are looking at a card and matching it to art.
So pretty. Anyways, at number 12, we have Disney's It's a Small World, which just breaks my frickin' heart. It sure the heck does. Coming in at number 11, we have
Disney's Perilous Pursuit. Good game. Again, just dice. If you want to play with kids that you don't have to think a lot, you can just roll some dice and have some fun. This is it. And if you like the theme, if you like the video game, might be worth looking into.
Yeah. Coming in at number 10, we have Munchkin Disney. I kind of wish that we owned it, but we don't. So here we are. Coming in at number 9, which is the most shocking to me because I thought it would be second last, is Marvel Villainous Infinite Power.
I think we both have to agree that we're probably giving it a lot of leeway because it is in the villainous world, and we love villainous, we've only played it the one time. I do think it deserves to be where it is because I do think if we'd played it more, it would land there.
Right. Number 8, we have
Disney's Jungle Cruise adventure game.
Jungle Cruise. Ton of fun. The backside of water.
Yeah, it's just a simplistic, A to B, collect.
Cute.
And
fun.
Deliver,
pick
stuff.
Up
pick up cargo, pick up people. It's just a cute little fun game.
Coming in at number 7, we have Disney Sidekicks.
This one shocks me a bit.
This one shocks me also because, I don't know, it's funny when you do these things. The way that I would have ranked these myself would probably be a little bit different. But if you're going on what's the better game, not what has the prettier art. Small.
Again, if this didn't have clunky rule set
it could be up there.
And clunky actions, I think it'd probably be top 5.
Could be.
It's a beautiful looking game. It's got the miniatures are great.
It's designed by Eric Lang.
I think the core purpose of the game is cool. I think everything was great in the game. It's just
I love sidekicks.
It got a bit clunky.
Coming in at number 6, we have Disney's Mickey and Friends Food Fight. Fun game for everyone.
Just a chaotic dexterity game, party game, whatever you want to call it. We've played it at 3, and it was nuts. What does it play up to?
5.
Ugh. If you played this with 5 people, oh my god.
That would be so fun. I definitely want to do that.
Coming in at number 5, we have Disney's Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Again, what I would say is an intro level skirmish game to get you used to 3D terrain and how those mechanics work.
And if you love gargoyles, if you grew up with it,
yeah, the miniatures are cool. If you like to paint and you like gargoyles, I think this would be a cool buy to have.
Coming in at number 4, which we left out of the original rankings, is going to be the Haunted Mansion.
And I know we're kind of cheating the system, but just based off what we're seeing, this,
and based off what we know,
this is pretty clearly going to be a 4 for us.
Yes, we love this game. This is a game based on the Haunted Mansion, which is a classic Disney ride. Yeah. Also a children's game, but it's a bit more take that.
There's a bit more strategy involved, just because we haven't mentioned how this plays because we didn't pull it out. It's set collection, so there's a rondelle that the hitchhiking ghosts are going to go around, and each section has different sets of cards that you can pick from in order to add to your collection to score points, basically.
Coming in at number 3, we have Disney's Hocus Pocus, which this game I feel like gets a bad rep.
It does get a bad rep.
And I think from what we have heard, it's because it is really difficult to win.
I've heard a lot of people buy this thinking it's going to be a light, fun kids game.
A kids game.
And it is very difficult.
Yeah, it's not difficult to play, it's just difficult to win. Coming in at number 2 is a game that we don't own, but clearly we need to buy.
I would like to own Parade.
Yeah.
It's tough with the player count, though.
We got to play this with Monique and Naveen from Before You Play, and Tyler and Ilya from Calvary, and we just had a blast playing it. And what I do know is that Monique and Naveen pulled this game out a ton when they were at Dice Tower West. So clearly, it's a great game to take to a convention, or if you're even at work or somewhere with a bunch of people, great game to play. And it's Alice in Wonderland theme, so I love that. Big time. Coming in at number 1, which is no surprise because it just so happens to be the best game in the world, and that is Disney's Villainous. This is my favorite game of all time, and obviously the best Disney game. I can't remember where it landed for me.
Was it top 10? I think it was top 10.
I think it was top 10 for you as well. This game is amazing. I don't even know what else to say about it. It has all of your favorite characters. It's immersive. It's immersing you into each of their world. You can play it 2 players. I love playing it at 2 players.
I know. Yeah, me too.
And it's just fun. And there's so many different variations that you can do. So that is why this is the best Disney game.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's so much potential.
Oh my God.
If you love Disney like we do, the miniatures are great. The game's cool. Asymmetrical kind of objectives and card decks. If you love Take That, it's a crazy good Take That game at 2-player because you're literally just fading each other. I love Villainous. And the more I play it, the more I appreciate it.
I appreciate it so much. That's our ranking of all the Disney games that we've played. We have not yet played Quests of Yore, which is sitting behind us, which is a Disney game based on the movie Onward. It's an RPG game. We haven't played Paint the Roses or Wonderland's War, which I know even with Parade, it's not technically like a Disney game, but I consider Alice in Wonderland Disney, so I'm counting it. So obviously those aren't in the rankings, and I'll be interested to see where they fall.
Well, Wonderland's War.
Wonderland's War. I don't think it could be
Paint the
villainous.
Roses is supposed to be really freaking good too.
I know, they're all supposed to be good. Interested to know what you think and how you would rank the Disney games and what your favorite one is, or if there's any that we haven't mentioned that you're like, oh, you have to try this one. I am definitely interested in hearing about it. What I do know is that there is a Goofy movie game coming out, which I'm very
someone
excited.
commented about that.
That is all we have for you guys today. Second video in Disney Week. You love to see it. Now, if you're interested in buying games, like any of the many Disney games that we mentioned today, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us here in Halifax, that is
Boardroom Game Cafe.
Yes, it is. That is all we have for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
Please subscribe.
we hope to see you again soon.
Now we say,
See you real soon.
later days.
Bye.
Just got the remote control pad.
Jeff calls remotes remote control pads. Does anybody else call them that? No, you don't. I think, like, you don't even think about it. You're just like, can you hand me the remote control pad or the control pad? I call it a remote or a clicker.
Can never think of the word. Like,
Levels.
Yeah.
Gliding. Terrain. Buildings.
Absolute mess. Unacceptable.
Why is it always the ones on the bottom?
I don't know why I'm struggling today to get these boxes off, but I am.
You can do it.
Apparently I can't. I almost put it on.
That would have been funny.
Easy.
I shouldn't say that.
You shouldn't say that.
Okay.